Martin, I've got a quote here. It says, "Best console online shooter I've played in years." That's a pretty big sentence.
That was off the record.
Well, I've just put it all the way on the record.
This is an outrage. Yeah, it is the most. I was excited because I just played it. That was like a week ago. I'm still excited. Yeah, it's one of the best online shooters I've played in ages, just because it's a bit different.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? One, like, other than maybe Sunset Overdrive, it's perhaps the most colourful game I've seen in the third-person shooter.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it is just all about colour, basically. The whole thing is just about, like, you obviously got all this ink splashing around everywhere as your characters kind of throw ink around the stages. So it is a game based around colour, and it's just super refreshing to see that.
Very Nintendo.
Basically, when you're playing multiplayer, the win state is basically in the two modes we played. One of them is covering the map as much as possible, and the other one is kind of where you're all contesting a single square in the middle, which was new. They've shown the turf war quite a lot before.
You've got to cover it with your team's ink. This just sounds like such a bizarre game, and of course the characters are all like half human, half squid.
It sounds bizarre, but when you're playing it, it's like Nintendo does, like an online shooter basically, and so it sounds weird, but when you're actually playing it, it feels like a lot of other games you played, except obviously with like that weird Nintendo take on it, which makes it really exciting.
Sure, it looks like it controls quite nicely. I mean, did you play on the gamepad or?
You can only play on the gamepad, and it's one of those weird things. Like a lot of people, when we started playing it at the event, some people were like, how can I play this with just like a pro controller? And how can I do this? And like, you can't.
You can use the touchpad to move around the map, right?
Yeah, so you use a touchpad, and so if you see your allies, you can use a touchpad and then jump to wherever they are, which is a good way of getting yourself straight in the action. You also use the gamepad to look around.
Yes, you can use the gyroscopic stuff.
Yeah, so you use the left stick to kind of walk, and use the gyroscope to look around.
Do you have to do that, or can you?
You can if you want use the right stick if you really want, but I wouldn't advise it because of using the gyroscope. It gives you that kind of the speed of movement, which is more akin to a PC game, basically. And once you get your head around it, and you just use your gyroscope to look around and to shoot and everything, it's like so much faster than playing a shooter on any other console because
That's a good word to hear, because fast is what this game looks to be all about. Like it's.
Yeah, you see in the video, you're seeing the footage which I captured of me playing quite badly. I hope you actually managed to put in. I was an amazing kill streak at one point.
Okay, right, I'll get them.
Yeah, and so basically, it is super fast the way it moves around, and there's a period of adjustment of it took me about 30 seconds. Some people take about 10 minutes, but once you got your head into how the gamepad works, you wouldn't want to play it with twin sticks. It wouldn't work so well.
Right, okay, so I imagine that means that the multiplayer is just going to be online, right? Is the local multiplayer at all? Do they want to talk about that?
They don't want to talk about it.
Okay, right.
But I'm hoping there will be a local multiplayer.
Okay.
But Nintendo aren't ready to talk about it yet.
Or indeed ready to talk about the actual release date, as far as we know, which is...
It was May. It is May, isn't it?
It's May, but we don't know the day.
They haven't given a specific date, which is weird. I don't know if they're going to nail that down at any point soon.
Okay, so you seem to be quite enthusiastic about the multiplayer. You played the two key modes there.
Yeah, the multiplayer is good. I would say basically I had more fun with the multiplayer in Splatoon than I've had with an online shooter. It's more exciting.
Simply because it feels so different? Or?
Yeah, it feels different, but it kind of reminded me of playing Titanfall for the first time. Do you remember when everyone played Titanfall for the first time and everyone's like, oh my god, it's the best thing ever.
Yep.
Like, this is going to change shooters forever.
That first week was really good.
Yeah, that first week was really good. And so I'm feeling that with Splatoon. It's really, really exciting. I've been invigorated by more than I have been by any other game for ages.
Do you think it will have a lifespan?
Yeah, it's weird because it has got it's got a leveling system, and a perk system in there, which is all very online shootery. And the way the ranking system works as well seems more like Mario Kart 8, which is good and everything. But I don't think that game quite has what it takes to really hook you in long term. So it'd be interesting to see how it plays after that first week of when you're really excited.
Yeah, sure. Whether or not a community does actually form around it.
Yeah.
And then outside of the multiplayer, you did get to play the single player stuff as well, which is, from what I've seen, squids versus octopi.
Yeah, squids versus octopi. It's really good. I was kind of.
Did they call it that? Because that should be.
They should call it that. We should totally trademark that. I was worried it's just going to be basically a glorified tutorial when I first heard about it being single player, but it's not at all. It seems like a fully fledged single player mode. Where basically there's all kind of mini puzzles and lots of things to shoot at.
Oh right, so it doesn't play in the same. It's not like the multiplayer, but with AI.
No, basically there's lots of traversal kind of puzzles, which you use your ink to basically flit from one bit of the map to the other, and then obviously there is shooting as well. But most of the fun is basically using your paint in the environment and
seeing how to get around. Yeah. Cool. Well, that's actually sounds a lot more interesting. A nice compliment to what is probably a multiplayer focused game, right?
Yeah. I think multiplayer is a focus. Single player is really good, and it all kind of spins out from this hub world, which I'm unfortunately couldn't capture, but it looks beautiful. Although it's obviously a really Nintendo game, it actually reminds me more of Sega in the late 90s. Well, it reminds me of Jet Set Radio, basically.
Right,
cool. The whole look of it, and it's kind of the vibrancy and everything, and the city itself as well, which is like the hub world, kind of reminds me of like Shibuya and like the late 90s Shibuya, which was obviously immortalised in Jet Set Radio, the first one. And so yeah, it feels more like that than anything. It's kind of got a very late 90s feel to it as well.
Yeah, I mean, just watching the gameplay, it does look interesting. As I said, it looks ridiculously colourful, much faster than I was perhaps expecting. And yeah, it's got this whole awesome theme of map control. In actually, you just cover the map in your colour. Quite a visual representation of that.
There's just something which never gets old about just splashing paint all over the place, and it feels so tactile as well. The way the sound it makes when you're splashing it around all over the place, and just the feel of that roller as well. I love the roller so much, although I think it's a bit OP. But it's just beautiful, just rolling around and then basically just smashing people to bits with it, whilst painting the town red, painting the map whatever colour you might be. Yeah, it's awesome.
Or green or yellow or whatever theme you're on. Awesome. Well, yeah, the interesting thing, I guess, will be whether or not the community does end up forming around this. It's different because it's the Wii U, because there aren't a lot of third-person shooters to pick from on that console, but it's also a smaller audience to aim for. I don't know, it's a really hard one to predict. I hope it does well because it looks nice.
I mean, it will do as well as a Wii U game can do, and I don't think it's got much competition in the Wii U coming out with it if it does hit its May release date.
Yes.
And so yeah, I think it will have a strong community. Everyone who's going to play it is going to stick with it. Okay. But yeah, it's super exciting stuff. I can't wait to actually play the full thing.
Cool. Well, thank you, Martin.
Thank you.